How long was I out? 11 days? Jeez. I must have been pretty gone, huh, chat? Greetings, everyone. Ojin here. Welcome to my humble little classroom that I have, found for us, the stream. Nice to see you, Wally, DJ Plays, Gaming, Maddie, Pearl, Cherry, Violet, Joseph. Yeah, welcome to my classroom. Let me stand up here. Hi. Do I have a mirror in this world? Thought there was. I don't know. I just found this. But I'm here. Hello. Greetings, as I like to say. I'm here. I exist. I missed the first day of Pride month. Yeah, I know. I missed Pride. But we have a whole month of that. And I want to do a VR chat session of that. There's a, there's a whole world for that this year. So, yippee! I have a lot to talk about. And then I want to answer just genuine questions too. So I thought a nice little classroom world would be a perfect setting. I could be your professor of sorts, and I can go just talk about life here. That's what I thought would be fun. Happy Pride month. Happy Pride month to you as well. Happy Pride. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Yeah, I jump scared because I got done early, and knowing Star, I don't know when she's gonna want to go potty, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start stream. We can yap for a while. If she comes down and she needs to go potty, I'll let her out. All that good stuff. But it is, it's almost 9 o'clock. That clock's not working, but it is almost 9 p.m. here, and I've been gone way too long from streaming. So I just wanted to, yap about life as we do here on VR Chat and Chill. And also, I thought, what better way to answer questions than be in a school. So I wasn't necessarily sick. Okay, there's a story here, so we're going to start with a story time after I say hi to Jackogień and Maki here as well. Hello, you all. But yeah, story time for why the frick I was gone. So, genuinely, the first day I was gone. Hold on, I'm trying to grab this pen because I want to draw while I talk to get in the feel for the whole classroom vibe. So, you're my class. I'm pretending you're all here. Alright, let me take attendance here. We got Pearl, Cherry, Violet. We got Akeem. We got Maki. We got Wally. We got Jackogień. We got Andy. We got DJ Plays, Gaming. Maddie. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'm just gonna pretend you're all out in the audience. Audience, classroom. You know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to do a bit. I don't think it's really working, but it's fine. And Puggy Z, welcome in as well. So, story time. Why? I'm gonna write in cursive because I feel more comfortable in cursive. Why? I'm away from the board, but it's fine. We go into why I was gone. So, oh, silly goober, not true, but yes, I am Professor Ojin of sorts. Yeah, I only write in cursive because that's a whole other story I can get into later, but let's talk about why I was gone. First thing, I believe it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, May. Someone fact check me on this, but I think it was either the 27th or the 28th. I'm pretty sure. It was when I initially first planned to stream Pizza Tower. Like Digital Circus episode 5. Yes, it is. We're basically episode 5 of Digital Circus. I'm Kinger. Yeah, it was Wednesday the 27th. Yeah, okay. Wednesday the 27th. I got hit and I didn't feel good. I was shaking, I was sweating. I got sick on the 27th and I had to leave work early. So, I left work and I had, wow, this is really bad. You know, like, it kind of felt hit. You know, it hit me, like, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, I left work, not well. And so I was like, my idea was, okay, I'm just gonna, I think I'm overdoing it. Maybe it was hit, oh, sorry. So, you know, I meant like it hit me, like, you know how, if you like suddenly get sick, right? It just like crashes into you at like full force. That's pretty much what happened. I was in the middle of work. I was halfway through work, well, a little more over halfway. It was like 5 hours into work. And I couldn't, it was weird. It was like I was shaking. Couldn't sit still. I felt like hyperventilating. I felt like I was getting a panic or something. No, sorry. No, then it hit me. Sorry, my bad. I should have specified my words better. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place a little bit. Let me try to word things. No. Then I said, I was trying to say then it hit me, like then boom. I got suddenly hit with like feeling shaky, sweaty, all that like gross stuff. So I was like, okay, not doing well. I had a plan in place. My plan was to take off then. I'm not really going up to the board well, but yeah, my plan was to take off then Wednesday and Thursday. Sort of just give myself 2 days to recuperate, right? That is awful writing compared to the rest. You can see I'm struggling from up here to down here because of like my desk is right here in person. So yeah, just out of the blue, it was just like no warning whatsoever. It was not well. So yeah, I took off Wednesday and Thursday. I was going to come back Friday. And then the incident happened. I'm running out of blackboard. I write way too big. I should have got like a world that had like a massive classroom. But I guess okay. Summarize. Wednesday, left work, not well. Took off Wednesday and Thursday of streaming. My plan was to come back Friday, and then the incident happened. So, not. Oh, that's a bubble blower. I was trying to grab my eraser. Here's the eraser. So now that we're caught up with that, at least, trying to erase all this. Whee! Meow. 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 Okay. Put that down. So, caught up with the story. Incident on Friday. So Friday, drew too close there. So Friday. That works. The incident that occurred. You gotta put this bubble blower down. This is cool, but I don't want to lose it. I choked on the carrot. So, I'm just gonna draw a carrot. Carrot. Choked on carrot. So that wasn't good. It was the worst time worst choking I ever had in my life. The carrot had not back. Mods, pin that message. But yeah, I genuinely, it was awful. I choked so bad. It got lodged. It was like a baby carrot, and it like, the part that I swallowed got lodged in my throat. And so I had to force myself to cough it up. The problem is, I was coughing so bad and so violently, my uvula, you know, like the dangly part of your mouth that like hangs down kind of like that? Like you have your like teeth here, your teeth, and then behind your teeth you have your like uvula. That guy got stretched so far that it was blocking the back of my throat. So then I went from choking on a baby carrot to choking on my uvula. I almost went to the ER. That's how bad it got. It was to a point where like I had to get like a thing on my finger to like check my oxygen levels. And it was bad. It was like a little bit scary because like apparently your oxygen levels should always be, according to the reader, your oxygen levels should be like around like the 98 level, right? Or whatever the reader said. I forget what it's supposed to normally be at, but like apparently like it's supposed to be in the range of like 98-ish. It was down, I think the lowest I saw it was 93. It was around like 93, 94, and worked its way back up to like a 96 area. Apparently, if it dropped down to like 91, I was supposed to go to the ER. That's how bad it got. Yeah, the punching bag thing in your mouth. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. But yeah, no, that thing can literally get swollen. It bulged up, it got swollen, and it stretched down to block the entrance of my mouth. I literally could not speak properly. 96, 98 is normal. Yeah, no, like my normal level apparently is like 99, 98. But yeah, no, it was down to like 93, 94. And I was told if it got any lower, if it went down to like 91, I was going to the ER. So yeah, that was the incident. And that took a long time to recover. I remember... Okay, so you all know my Hex voice, I do, right? You know, like how, like, I'm already super exhausted, and I sound like this. Instead of being super low like that, it was like this. I could barely speak at all. It was awful. It was terrible. It was, no matter how hard I tried to speak, that's all that came out. Was that, like, little gasping. And if I did any louder, or if I tried to do any louder, it would hurt. And that went on. That incident happened Friday. And that incident, like, my voice... Yeah, a cursed ASMR voice. That's one way of putting it, I guess. That happened on Friday night. And that went on. I see dead people kind of voice. Jeez, you know, it was awful. But my voice was not okay until it slowly got better throughout the days. I left to go to work. I went out to West Virginia for work. I left on Sunday for that. So Sunday, I went out to work. And even, like, I couldn't even communicate to my coworkers up until probably, like, late Tuesday. My voice got to, like, a whisper. So that was like Tuesday, it started getting a little bit better. So yeah, Sunday, left for work. Tuesday, a little bit better. Would people think less of us if we said it'd be good ASMR? Wow. No, I wouldn't think any less. I think it was like about Thursday when I started feeling like I could talk my normal self. So Thursday was the day I finally felt really good. I could communicate better. I still, even right now, I still feel my uvula. It's shrunk back down to its normal size, but I think I'm like more consciously aware of it, so I feel it in my mouth now. Every now and then. Like when I'm not thinking about it, obviously I don't. But it's kind of like, you know the phenomenon where you can see your nose if you like look at it, but 90% of the time you don't see your own nose? That's kind of what it's like for me in my uvula now. You can't get any lower than rock bottom. You're not rock bottom to me. But if you're at rock bottom, you got company. Because we're both losers. Anyway. Were you eating the carrot whole, or was it... No, it was baby carrots that was just in my salad. And I guess I, like, inhaled it weird. And it just got lodged. It was not... It wasn't fun. But, that's why I was gone for so many days. I probably could have streamed Thursday or Friday. But Thursday night... Thursday night was Digital Circus movie. So I couldn't really stream Thursday. Friday, I was way too tired. I got home at like 7 o'clock at night, and I wanted to just sleep in my normal bed. Yesterday was my sister-in-law's birthday, so I didn't stream. Because I was hanging out at my brother and sister-in-law's house. Which left today, being my return. Hello, E-Bones. Hopefully you're doing well. You know the self-Heimlich maneuver? I know how, like, the thing where you put your fingers in your throat to force you to throw up. I don't know about the self-Heimlich. So I don't know that one, but I kind of utilized that one to force it out. So that wasn't fun though, because then I was gagging on my own uvula because it swelled up so much. It was not fun. It was a bit scary, honestly, like thinking that I could potentially go to the ER. Curious and recover. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was genuinely a bit rough. I really wanted to stream and like finish May I Stream and everything. But I knew, like, obviously with something like this, and then something with, like, my whole, like, it felt like a panic attack almost on Wednesday, but it was, like, that's the best way I could describe it, like, suddenly, like, sweaty, and couldn't sit still, and feeling nauseous, and everything. It was, like, a sudden fever. It was not fun on Wednesday. I don't know what it could have been. Little plushies at the desk, too, represent viewers. Yeah, oh, that would be so cool. Just spawn them in, just pew, 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 pew. That would be awesome, actually. But I'm just imagining. But hopefully you're doing well, Alex. Welcome in. I know there's a game exploit to trigger yourself to throw up until now. It is, but you shouldn't really do it unless you need to. I've only done it twice in my life. Imagining dragons? Yes, absolutely. Always 100% all the time. Doing alright tonight? I am. Hopefully you are as well. But yeah, now that the story time is out of the way on why the heck I wasn't here, why the heck I wasn't streaming, now I would like to do a little QnA. and because folks can't read my cursive, I will attempt my print, even though my print sucks. So apologies for that, and I might write in cursive because every now and then, but then I'll like verbally say what I'm writing too. So the Switch 2 anniversary. What's your favorite Switch 2 game in this year? Yeah, Switch 2 anniversary it happened. Honestly, Kirby Air Riders, my favorite. Well, that's what we'll start with. That will be our number one question, I guess. So we'll start. Anything else you wanted to yap about? Off the top of my head, not quite. Cassette Beast 2. It's fantastic that's happening. I'm very excited about that. Direct predictions, I would like to potentially talk about that once a direct's confirmed. I know it's heavily rumored to be Tuesday, but I will save that for another time. Let's just write down Wally's and Maki's question here. So Switch 2, we'll say, I'm gonna do a cursive, just Switch 2 Annie here. So my thoughts on the Switch 2 anniversary, or just 1 year into the Switch 2. Cassette Beast, rah! You know, Cassette Beast 2002 is amazing. That I will talk about a little bit. I'll talk about what I'm super excited about. I'm just gonna mark it down. I'm gonna like write down the questions and then we'll talk about it one-on-one. So I'll just gather up the questions here. I'll go more in depth about Switch 2 anniversary here. Carrot's opinions, yay. So Carrots. Sorry, I said I was gonna write in print. I'm not, just because like it's really hard for me. I like have to force my brain to write. All right, so Carrots Summer Game Fest. We'll say. Summer Game Fest. Hello, Sergeant Stickman. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopes for Raiders. Yes, Splatoon Raiders. Let's see what else. Whenever the Nintendo Direct comes up, what are you hoping to see out of it? I will save that for a proper directions prediction thing. So that one I'll pin, Alex, but I promise you, if our Direct does get announced, I will save, like, that will be a whole... I will actually maybe commit myself to making a video for once in my life. Summer Game Fest Xbox Showcase. I didn't see the Xbox Showcase, I'll be honest with you. I only know a few highlights of Summer Game Fest, which we will talk about. OC questions. That is a good one. So we got about 5 questions we can roll with for now. All right, let me set this guy down and let's discuss. Let's begin with our first question. It's a very ADHD brain, so sorry if I'm like blah all over the place. As I'm trying to grab my pen here. There we go. Just want to put that there. Okay. Switch 2 anniversary. I'm all over. I'm like, how to take them all. My brain just flatlined. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm so good at this streaming stuff, right? You can tell I'm rusty. I haven't talked to anyone other than like people I needed to for the past like 12 days or however long it's been. But yeah, my opinions on the Switch 2 anniversary. Very interesting. I'm definitely confused. On some of the directions they took for things. But I will say this. I'm content with it. For me, some of the best games that came out was like Donkey Kong Bonanza. I still enjoy Mario Kart World quite a bit, despite it lacks in some aspects, but I love the aspects that I love. But yeah, Bonanza, World, Kirby Air Riders was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Still my favorite Switch 2 game. You doing okay, Jack? I'm doing way better than I've been. I promise you that much. I've tickled your DMs here and there. Wow. But yeah, overall, definitely weird, but I'm happy with it because we are getting like new games. Some of them, I feel like the biggest thing with this Switch 2 as a whole, a lot of the games that come out this first year were games that were planned for Switch 1, but the hardware wasn't hard. Like, the hardware wasn't hard enough is what I literally... I shouldn't use those words. I shouldn't use those words to describe it. The hardware wasn't strong enough, not... Phrasing was bad on that. Sorry. The hardware wasn't strong enough. So, like, Bonanza, like, could not have worked on Switch 1 because of the way the game runs and renders and things like that. So... Appreciate Sergeant Stickman. I am recovering a lot from being hurt and injured. That's gonna be an Ojin quote now, isn't it? The hardware wasn't hard enough. Anyway. Hi, Yellow. Welcome to class. But yeah. Funny you say that. That's one of our Q&A questions right here that we're actually discussing. So, yeah, point being, a lot of the Switch, I swear, mods, Shy Guy, smack yourself. Platonically smack yourself. But yes, I think a lot of the games that came out weren't strong enough on Switch 1, so they needed Switch 2, or we saw a lot of transition games. A lot of games transitioned, which, congrats for them. It is Pride Month, so that's awesome. But it was like a transition period from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. So, you know, games like Legend ZA, Legend Zaza, Metroid Prime 4, stuff like that was like Switch 1 and Switch 2 because it just like was supposed to help lean into the Switch 2 era. Same with all these Switch 2 editions we're getting. Or have we got Mario Kart World, Animal Crossing, Mario Wonder, Mario Party, even though that Switch 2 edition's not good in my opinion. I mean, true, if you want to, just don't do it on stream. That is a behind closed door thing, Pearl Cherry Violet. If you want to romantically smack yourself, that's your own agenda. But yes, overall, if I had to give it a rating, like a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10 if I'm gonna be a little brutal. My biggest complaint is... Actually, yeah, well, I will be brutal and give it a 6 out of 10 because of the one reason alone. Game key cards. If game key cards did not exist, it would have been like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 year 1 Switch 2, in my opinion. I'm hoping that these games... I'm gonna like use this as like a segue into Summer Game Fests. I'm hoping that some of the games that got announced are not game key cards. I pray with every fiber of my being, Cassette Beast 2022, or 2002. Wow, not 2022. I was born 2002. But yeah, I'm hoping with every fiber of my being that's a full physical game. I'm hoping like games like Persona 6 are... Whatever's coming out, I'm hoping they start fickling out game key cards. If Spyro's on a game key card, I'm going to be upset too. So yeah, I'm going to associate this with Summer Game Fest. The only things I really got out of game, like Summer Game Fest, that I really like is Cassette Beast 2002. Spyro coming back, and like Persona 6 and like the Persona 4 remake. Primarily because it's on game key cards. Same here, Vixie. I skipped Pokopia. I didn't even talk about when we talked about Year 1 Switch 2, because I know some people think it's like the best Switch 2 exclusive, but it's like, it's a game key card. I don't care about it. So, yeah, but now we're in the second year. Yeah, we're talking about Year 1 of Switch. Teehee. I built actual physical games. So true, gaming. So true, actually. I missed a lot. You know, Spyro, a brand new Spyro is coming out. Boycott key cards? I am, trust me. I refuse to buy game key cards. Kirby Air Riders. No, that's what I said. I agree. For me, it goes Kirby Air Riders, Bonanza, Mario Kart World, Mario Wonder Switch 2 is like some of the best games I played. No, like, trust me, I think Mario, the new 3D Mario, is going to be the holiday game alongside of Pokemon next year. We're just getting it digitally. You know what? Same here, actually, because Cassette Beast is too good of a development studio. I still love the people behind Cassette Beasts. I will still buy that game because I love Cassette Beasts. That's the exception I would probably make, just buying it digitally. Yeah, Tomodachi's best too, but that's a Switch 1 game. One of the last Switch 1 games. Our last Switch 1 game is Rhythm Heaven, first party. Alright. So yeah, we did Switch 2 anniversary. Game Fest, we are kind of just talked about. I kind of saw bits and pieces. Cassette Beast 2002 is my personal favorite announcement, but I'm really glad Spyro's back. I'm really glad for Persona fans. I'm glad that there's a lot of cool stuff going on. New God of War game looks fun. I think that was actually before Summer Game Fest, though. I don't really play too much else other than Nintendo, though. Nintendo and indie, so you all know me. But I am very happy that a lot of gaming news is coming out. Persona 6 got announced, and they're doing a proper Persona 4 remake, I think. So, those two things. So, there you go, Persona fans. The Pan and Pride Pinata monster looks so cute. We might have to use it. No, I'm gonna play that game, and I'm gonna name it just Pan-Ada. Pan-Ada. They got announced? Yep, they officially did. You missed out on the Summer Game Fest. Fruit Low was a key card. Yeah, no, Persona games are gonna be key card, which sucks. I'm just gonna get them on Steam whenever they come to Steam, honestly. Of course, you had to go right for the jugular on this question, but we will talk about that next. Caught up with work alone and have a peaceful night. Life is good. Yippee! Hopefully you have a nice chill night, Mike. But yes. My opinion on carrots after my incident on Friday and almost choking to death and getting TKO'd by a freaking baby carrot being lodged in my throat. Ooh, that's true. Imagine if it evolves into a dragon. That'd be cool. But yes, my opinion on carrots. I have not eaten a carrot since the incident, and I'm hesitant to ever eat a carrot because I'm imagining the taste being lodged in my throat again. That carrot would pause? Oh yeah, Cuphead Adventure. No, that's cool too. I like how it's like an 80s, 90s kind of aesthetic. I feel like this music's too loud. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. There we go. Also, this music might be copyrighted. I'm not sure. Yeah, I feel like this music's copyrighted. I feel like this. Let me put on the dreams currently loading. Okay. I'm just loading up another playlist of lo-fi, I think. But yeah, Cuphead Adventure looks cool. I never beat the first Cuphead because it's too hard for me. But I do like the aesthetic. Like Jackson corn, yeah, no, every time Jack sees corn, I'm just, "Ugh." That's just me with carrots now. Give all your carrots to the bunnies, that's true. Yeah, no, I love lo-fi. Lo-fi is one of my favorite things. So yeah, my opinion on carrots, haven't eaten one since the incident, and I am too worried to. Thoughts on Splatoon Raiders, or hopes for Splatoon Raiders? Genuinely, the only hope I have for it is that there is at least 60 plus hours. If it's like 60 plus hours of content, I'm suffice. Because I've had games that were only like, I don't know, like around that 50-60 hour mark, and still had a hell of a good time. I think that's like a bare minimum hope. 50 hours. Like an egg sack. I'm just a misunderstood little chicken fetus in an egg. Trans? Wow. Maybe. Speaking of food, I got Olive Garden. Yippee! Olive Garden's nice. But yeah, that's mostly my hope for Splatoon Raiders. From the trailers and the gameplay we've seen, I'm hoping this is true. It looks like a mixture of Side Order and Salmon Run. It's like if Side Order and Salmon Run had a child. I cannot elaborate without spoilers, and I will not elaborate further. Pearl, Cherry, and Violet is all I will say. I'm making it a ban right here. I'm gonna ban myself from talking about the Digital Circus unless it's about a specific episode 1 through 8. So I'm just gonna ban, because I don't want to accidentally slip out anything. So I'm just gonna ban TAADC episode 9 talk. I'll say episode 9 talk, because other than the only thing I will elaborate that, I'm scared if it's true. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. My thing is refuse to elaborate on anything. So I'm just gonna ban TDAC episode 9 talk, other than the fact that unless it's just about general theater experience, which I'm just gonna talk about now, so I just cover that base so that we make sure that this remains spoiler free. Oh, you know, the Among Us show, true. That happened. I didn't get to see that. Oh, and another thing with Summer Games Fest, too. Didn't they say they're making, like, a single-player Among Us? I'm proud of myself. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up, chat. You got this. Yeah, Paramount expired there. Oh, no. Was there just floating? Because we're in a dream world. See, look, there's fish swimming outside. This is a dream. This is a dream classroom. It's not a real classroom. It's just a manifestation. So, but yeah, we will ban TDAC episode 9 talk, other than general. Hello, it's me, the crewmate. Wow. A Henry Stickmin reference in the manga show. Well, yeah, that makes sense because they're like the same devs. Who made like the Henry Stickmin collection, Inner Sloth. Spinoff is coming to Switch too. Yippee! That's cool. Yeah, I keep getting distracted, sorry. Well, I'm getting distracted by talking to you all, so I feel like that's actually a good thing, but point is, I just kind of want to get this. You know, they made a Among Us show. It's out on Paramount. Hello, Dylan. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing good. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna get this out of my way here, just because I want to make sure I just talk about the theater experience in general. And I will say, other than like one chatty person in the front row, my overall experience was very good. And I will say, because this is not episode 9, I'm allowed to say this because it's everything we saw. We already saw episode 8. Seeing episode 8 on a big screen in the theater and seeing, like, running the show on the big screen was incredible. The entire, like, just, it was mesmerizing hearing, like, the entire song. Just, it snows to me, it snows to you. To which degree, who answers to who? Like, that it was so fun. Like, that, I had the dumbest, biggest grin on my face, seeing that on the big screen. And overall, just, again, besides the one chatty, like, person, it was very good. A lot of people, like, did very soft reactions to things, just like oohs and ahs and things like that. Like, they were very respectful. It was very neat, and it was awesome seeing people dressed in cosplay, holding their plushies of the characters. I loved it. It was very, it felt special. It felt like a community coming together. It felt like the same feeling I get going to a convention and then seeing somebody dressed up as the same thing I'm dressed up as. But instead of, you know, it being like that, it was more like, oh my gosh, people are dressed as the thing I'm going to for this reason, kind of thing. I don't know. It was pretty magical of an experience, and I'm definitely glad I got lucky. Me traveling for work, I thought I wouldn't be able to see it in theaters. I thought I had a booking showed for a theater that was in like 45 an hour from my house. And then I had to cancel that, and then I had to look to see what was near the hotel. And luckily that Cinemark, I think it was, the Cinemark was like 35 minutes away from the hotel, like walking distance. So that's what I did. I took my time, I walked around, got there like an hour early, so I went to the Barnes and Nobles and picked up the first chapter of the Splatoon manga. And yeah, first chapter of the Splatoon 3 manga specifically. And then went from there. So I want to go to that one. Wow. You know, I haven't been to any fur conventions, but I want to. You know, episode 9, that's what the Digital Circus last act was. That's what it was. The last act that was in theaters, since June 4th, is episode 8 and 9. Read by Cat, dang, Sag Mike. But yeah, that covers this. I refuse to elaborate anything further about episode 9. So general stuff about TDAC, sure. But I'm just banning episode 9 talk. No, that's June 7th is the YouTube launch. June 4th was the early in theaters experience. Look at two for unmentioned by fear. I mean, that's fair, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, episode 9 hits in 2 weeks. But yeah, we talked about my Splatoon Raiders hope. I hope it's literally just the child of Side Order and Salmon Run. I hope it's at least 50 hours of playtime. You know, sometimes though it's like rumors though that's like false. So people said the same thing about the Digital Circus movie things, and people didn't smell weird or bad or anything. I don't know why people kept saying like, "Oh, people are not gonna shower going to the Digital Circus premiere," and that's not true. But here I'm very glad I got this question. I think Wally asked this question. I'm not sure, but question about my other OCs that I haven't revealed. Trying to grab my pen. No! Screw you, pencil. I didn't mean to get clear. I'm trying to... Okay, well, that's... I'm just going to respawn this. Hopefully that will work. I hate being tall. Anyway. Back to the OC talk. Okay, we're talking OCs. OCs I haven't really revealed or talked about. Put the pencil in the sharpener and wow. But yeah. OCs. OCs I haven't really revealed or talked about. Okay, apparently I'm just not allowed to let go of my pen. Because that happens. Fun. Da, 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 da. Okay. OCs I haven't really... Okay, so I think you all know by name Trawa, Wuda, obviously Jack and Ojin, Shadow, Mori, variants like Announcer, and Hex. And Lynn as well. So, what else? Or who else, rather? I'm not sure who. Something that I haven't revealed. What does the flower one, we don't know how to spell it, look like? Okay, Trawa, I don't have any art of her. But Trawa is a deer girl. I kind of imagined her... Do you know the... whatchamacallit? Yeah, fembi is actually the word I really like. Feminine presenting NB, fembi. I really like it. I really like that word a lot. But yeah, Trawa. Do you know the girl from Spyro that has like the grass dress? I forget her name. Wow, hi nobody. Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, she has a grass dress. Similar, but like with actual flowers. Alora, thank you, Andy. Yeah. Alora, like that like grass dress. She's like that. So yeah, she has a grass. And then she has just a bunch of different flower types and colors all throughout her outfit. And she is a deer. And her whole thing is just being sort of like... The best way I could imagine is like being a servant of Mother Nature. Is the best way to describe her. Servant. She always prioritizes life, always tries to preserve life. And that makes her a servant of Mother Nature. So that's Trawa. She doesn't have official art or anything yet, but she's someone in my head. Another character who is the best way I can describe it is like, okay, you know how the aesthetic of like some people imagine aesthetic of like butch lesbian, like kind of hard exterior, short hair, almost angry scowl. That kind of like vision of like a butch lesbian, but Arrow Ace. I have a character. Her name is Ambelica. And she is a character that I have a lot to write about. I actually have a game idea for Ambelica called Ambelica's Ambition. And it will be like a roguelite. And it's all about her finding her own purpose in the world, trying to break free from Okay, I thought this was a different lo-fi. I thought I was getting copyright strikes. That's why I paused there for a second. I was like, is this WYS? Because that's going to get copyrighted. Oh, well, I'll just mute the music in the background if I have to. But yes. Wait, what? This is Trawa and means grass. Yeah, no, that's what Trawa does mean, grass in Polish. That's where the word comes from. I'm more of a bunch of blowbos. We love femme clothes so much. It's so easy to get tempted by them. True. Understandable and true. You know, the best way, like, style. Her style is very butch. And she's just trying to be. Her whole thing is individualism. She's trying to break free from her society, from the other folks of her species, and basically train her own aura. She is from a race of aura wielders. Slavic languages, after all, that's true. So yeah, that's Ambelica. She is actually also part of the Clayman's. You know how Clayman's Quest is a thing I referenced in my Tomodachi Life Island? She's part of that universe. She's part of that like shared continuity. That's the word I was trying to think of. She's part of that shared continuity with Claimant. Hold on. I gotta update chat. Don't know why that message got hidden. Grrrrrrrreetings YouTube moment. You talking about femme clothes. But anyway. Yeah, Trawa and Bellica. Anyone. This is one of my personal favorite characters. It's silly. If I can. It won't let me grab the pencil again. I'm right here. Okay. I'm just gonna use the purple pen. I don't care. I like purple. I probably would, but I don't know why that would get censored though. I don't know, YouTuber, we can't even censor it because then it looks like bitch. Well, that one got hidden because it said bitch. But yes. I forgot, I can't really let go of these pens sometimes because then they just glitch. But anyway. Talk about Ambelica, talk about Trawa. One of my personal favorite mask characters I have. Oh, this is blue. It does not look blue when I picked it up, but it's fine. He's very silly. Captain Skeletoni. Skeleton pirate who always accidentally uses play on words, and then his crew takes it seriously. That is his whole gimmick, is that he accidentally uses plays on words, and then his crew of skeleton pirates all take him at face value and just do exactly what he take the play on word and does exactly, just misinterprets it. And he just gets mildly frustrated. It just I can't do his voice. He's just very raspy, just skeleton. But he imagine you know how Gerson laughs, kind of like that, a very whimsical ha ha ha, or yeah yeah yeah. It just something along those lines. He will laugh but I love him because this is a dumb joke, but it plays into his whole gimmick. His whole gimmick, being the whole thing about taking things literally. What yacht? You're all bones. Wow. Hey, Brandbot, nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, Captain Skeletoni. So he is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Ojin. So his number, the first time you realize his gimmick, he'll say, "All hands on deck." And what his crew does is every single one of his skeleton crew takes off their hands from their bodies and chucks them onto the deck of the boat. And he just face palms is what he does after. This will be he's also part of a Clayman's quest, or Clayman's universe. Let's give me a hand. Ha ha. Ha ha. Give me that. It's literally that joke from Toy Story. But he will do that unwillingly. And just yeet the hands. So that's another OC I love. Captain Skeletoni. I definitely have a lot more. A lot of them are game idea OCs. Some of them are shelved Splatoon universe ones. I had this thing where there was a version of Jack that sort of embodied temperament. They were just referred to as Berserk. I kind of scrapped that though. That was I don't know. It didn't really fit my vibe for the stories I wanted to write. You got Pyro, so you instantly fall in love with it. Wow. Well, there you go. Captain Skeletoni. Any other questions? Because we kind of ran out of questions now. Our last question was the Q&A question. So let me rewrite Q&A here. Wow, Professor cannot write today. I have a question. What's up, Maki? What can I do for you? What question do you got? Do you have a favorite furry content creator? That one I don't even have to write on the board. Shy Guy. Shy Guy blogs. Simple as that. I know of other ones I like to tune into from time to time, like Barley the Bear and stuff, but I'm Shy Guy. Wow. Now, to me, it's That was Yoji. Nah, I don't deserve that. Captain Shark from Luigi's Mansion 3. I need more of him. Wow. I need to play more Luigi's Mansion 3. I started streaming that and started playing it, and then I dropped it. Who knows? Maybe, maybe some Halloween I can actually get around and doing it instead of procrastinating. But it's really easy for me to procrastinate. Is the thing. It's really today I meant to try to bowl 6 bowling games and mow the yard, and I only got half the yard done because I got really tired. Well, you got it. Well, I appreciate it, you 3. Thank you. I'll raise my hand. Any other recent game announcements that I'm honestly, the new Among Us. I'm excited for that one. Favorite Furry content creator, me and OG. You know, you're up there too, Mike. You, Shy Guy, anyone who, to answer the question more thoroughly, my favorite furry content creators are my friends who are also furries. I love tuning into my other content creating friends way more than any other content creator, except for Danny Mata, maybe. I like Danny Mata's reactions a lot. I think he's silly. But yeah. What stuff did you learn in school that you rarely use? What are your overall thoughts on it? That is a good question. I'm going to write that down because I need to simmer on that one. Let me simmer on that. So, I'm just gonna say school topic. Thanks. Atari announced a full Toy Story collection. That's pretty cool. I don't know about Crazy Taxi. I don't know much about that, Akeem. Sorry. You could get one game to get DLC right now. What game and why? Okay, so game DLC. I have 2 answers for that one. My call. No, not true. Not what I'm called. What do we do if we can't raise our hand? Just do what you did there. Just say Mixogen and then ask away. Good Hemby. Not true! Not what I'm called. Stop it. Anyway. I'm trying to simmer on this. You know what? You know what? It's a perfect example of this. It's something I struggled with in college. This perfect example of school topic I rarely use. Mix good and be not. Stop it! I swear, you all. Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can I don't know? Can you? I've always wanted to say that. Yes, you may. You can go to the bathroom if you want. Doors there. You can go. How are you? They're adequate. They're a perfectly adequate level of bread. Anyway. Hold on, I gotta... Mods, can you show that in comment, please? I don't know why YouTube's so mean. You can go if the toilet isn't blown up, true. Exception said the principal office have them expelled. Wow. But yeah, school topic that I struggled with, I barely used at all. And I think it was genuinely a waste of time, money, and energy. But I needed to take the class just to get my bachelor's degree. It is matrix math. And if you don't know what matrix math is, it kind of looks like this. You have a thing here, You have like a bunch of numbers around. It's supposed to be a 3. And then you do stuff with these matrices. You have like X's, you have like delta values, which is like that. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I barely wrapped my head around it. And I haven't had a need or want for it ever again. Yeah, I know you enjoy math, Mike, and I'm glad you do, or I'm glad somebody does, but for me, I had to take this class twice to pass it, and I barely passed it with a C. I'm sure NASA uses... I mean, maybe, but, like, I don't have a point in it in my career, both game development or as a data specialist at my job. But yeah, that is a school topic I struggled with, I don't use at all, and I hopefully will never use it. Reduce row echelon form. Those words give me PTSD, Mike, I swear. I've heard that form so many times. Row echelon form, reduce row echelon form. I hated it. I suffered through it. I grinded it. I did the cards, flashcards. You didn't let us go and someone pissed on the floor. We have janitors, it's fine. I like math to a point. Yeah, no, I like certain flavors of math. Like, I didn't pass statistics the first time around, but I genuinely do like the idea of statistics when I'm doing it for something I care about. Like, my final project in statistics, I did it on YouTube. I loved that. I loved punching in the numbers and running the calculations for stuff. But yeah, statistics, the statistics I like. Stats for the TISM is fun. You know, that I will run statistics on any of my hyperfixations all day, any day. You know, that's why I suffered so much. That's why I had to take the class twice. I got a D the first time around, and I needed at least a C to graduate. Because I just couldn't really apply myself because I didn't have any passion for the numbers I was crunching. But once I applied it to something I really cared about, boom, I was off to the races. Game DLC that I would like to get. I have 2 answers for this. One of them is a free DLC. So one is free that I would really want, and one of them I would be okay as a Switch 2 edition / paid. And I think Mike knows where I'm going with this for the paid one. The free Mario Kart World. I think Mario Kart World is already too expensive. And I would love if they added on with like a surprise, like, boom, here's like a world expansion, here's like Donkey Kong Island, here's, you know, maybe a few more outfits for the characters, maybe another character or 2. I don't know if they're actually going to go that route. I think they might try to make it paid, which would stink, but I would love if they got free DLC would be the best thing. It's already an $80 game. I really don't think we should have $100 games at all. 80's already absurd. Absurd. Wow, I cannot speak. Improved battle mode. They did add the Bomb mode, which I like. Bomb Blast. Maybe like I would love a playable K-Roll. I would main K-Roll if that was a thing. But for a Switch 2 paid, there are 2 answers, and one of them is rumored to potentially be true. the one that's not rumored to be true that I would want is, I should have just done M and L, but we're just gonna spell it out: Mario and Luigi brothership. I think Mario and Luigi brothership would be amazing to have like a proper post game, because the Paper Mario games, they all have like a post game to them. But the Mario and Luigi series doesn't. The Mario and Luigi series suffers from not having post game or additional content. More Technicky real, yes. We need a Technicky DLC. I just bought a $90 game deluxe edition of Ace Combat 8. Honestly, understandable and real. I know that's up your alley, Teehee. That's one of your hyperfixations. Siblingship, yippee! Yeah, no, true. So, I said 2, one of them is rumored. Here is the rumored one that I hope to be true, because I enjoy this game. Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. For me, I really enjoyed Pikmin 2. I think it's definitely up there as one of the better Pikmin games. I did thoroughly enjoy my time with it, although one of the problems with it is it left me feeling a little unsatisfied. I hate the feeling of 100%ing a game fully and it just being left permanently on the shelf. And I felt like I didn't even put that many hours into Pikmin 4, and I 100%ed it. It could have just been me, but like the time just kind of flew by with Pikmin 4. So I'm hoping if we get a Switch 2 edition or DLC for it, I'm hoping that we get like at least like 2 new areas, right? Like 2 full-fledged areas to explore. If it's just one new area, I'm going to be a little sad, because there's only like 4 areas in the game, I think. 4 or 5. I would hope for like 6 or 7, just to make it feel more complete. And just to add in like an extra like 30, 40 hours of gameplay. That might be sounding like a lot, but like I really would love for more areas to explore. I love the dungeons in Pikmin 2 and 4. Pikmin 4 Deluxe, more or less, it's just Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. I was just hit with 20-second unskippable ad. I'm so sorry. If you write it as day, month, year, no, sadly today is 6/7, but it's fine. So yeah, that's the games I would want for DLC Nintendo-wise. Outside of Nintendo, I'd rather a sequel, but I would be happy if they made DLC for In Stars in Time. I'd rather a sequel, though. I hope it gets like a cassette beast treatment of a sequel being, you know, in the works. Tomodachi would better be a free DLC thing, in my opinion. Any sequel Bug Fable's bad. Yeah, I know how much you love Bug Fables. Favorite meme currently? I don't have one at the moment. Sometimes I do. Right now I don't. You know, I'm glad we get the seasoned content, I guess. Hat in Time sequel would be nice. I haven't played through the entirety of Hat in Time, but I would want to. I know to. Wow. Gotta play Bug Fables eventually. The Thousand Door, and one of the protagonists is an Violet. Yippee! So cute, y'all. Not true. There is something else I wanted to talk about. I kind of suppressed this, because I'm a little shy to talk about it. I kind of hinted at it a little bit, but there is something I do want to talk about. It's a bit of a lot though, and I don't know if I should do it now or do it later. I definitely want to do it near the end of stream, because I think it's gonna be, or I do it now and it's like the rest of the stream is gonna be talking about it. So, potential deep talk. You go to, there's a lot of Pugizzy. I've already mentioned, may as well do it now. Okay, well that's true. For context, I'm able to express myself a lot right now, because fam is away. And I was doing a bit of soul searching while I was away too, and of course recovering. One of the things that I found, it's better if I actually pull the link for this. I saw a YouTube short that genuinely changed my entire worldview a bit. Let me grab and post the link. Okay, I have it. I'm gonna post it. This was something I wrote. I shared this link in my LG BT chat in my server. It's literally a short that's just like 40 seconds to 50 seconds of silence, as someone and myself has the realization that you have a choice in how you want to identify. If you're not comfortable, you can change something. And seeing that short genuinely kind of took me a little bit aback and made me consider some things. I mentioned a word, and I think genuinely I can't present myself how I want to right now. I can't, just because of my situation. However, despite that, I relate to this more and more the more I think about it. And I know it's something that I would 100% do if I had the full capability, freedom, and confidence to do so. I pretty much am somebody who wants to present as a feminine NB, or be primarily an NB that presents femme. It's something that really hit me hard after watching that video. Obviously my voice fluctuates a lot. And there are some things that are seen as, I still really love presenting androgynously. But I'm finding myself feeling more and more comfortable with the idea of presenting femme. Thanks. Thank you all. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my charger here. She, they, maybe they, she is something. When I present, that is something I wanna use, and the trial, for lack of better words, the trial run for it is TMG this year. TMG 2026. I'm going to be presenting Femme as Lynn on the Friday of TMG 2026. You may use Femby or NB. Both are pretty good with me. They both are very comfortable. But I will say that it will become this fully once I move out. Once I know I'm 100% fully on my own. If I still feel the same way in my soul that I do right now, this will be me come a year or so. Because I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot to talk about when it comes to this. But I just want to respect. I appreciate you, Andy. Thank you. We were until we just said screw it, call us this, and we'll see how it goes. Honestly, that was me changing my pronouns for the first time. When I first changed them from he, him to he, they, I was like, I'm gonna see how this goes and see if I'm comfortable with it. And I was pretty comfortable with it. Then I swapped to they, he. And then I realized the only time I'm masked is because it is a mask. It's a facade. It's not my soul. Maybe the way you feel most comfortable presenting. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, I appreciate that a lot. Unless we just went directly to she, her, and then they added it. It's yippee! Yippee experimenting with pronouns. Yippee! You know, I think I'm like the closest thing to potentially being gender fluid, in the sense of my fluidity would be more so from androgyny into femininity. But I can't exactly experiment with how I want it fully. But the best way I can explain the emotion is Chug's the gender fluid. Wow. If only people weren't that big into Arrow. Yeah, that's true. What's it taste like? Yummer? It tastes like yummers. But no, I just the biggest realization about this whole thing that I had was for sharing it with us. Well, thank you, Maki. Yeah, I've said it before, but this is where I'm most me. And like I said here, this is very important. Too Many Games 2026 on Friday. I'm going to be femme presenting as Lynn. And I think this will confirm or deny a lot of my feelings. But seeing that short, it was like a light flicking in my head of, oh my gosh, I'm only masculine IRL because I have to be, or because I feel like I have to be. And even me slipping into androgyny, me being NB, started because I wanted to just not have any expectations of gender at all. And now it's like I want to dip into the femme at times because it feels comfortable. It's nice. I don't know if I want to fully like become trans femme, but leaning towards it. Fembi is just the right word to describe it. Fembi is what I want to be. And I think that's just my direction. Again, I will get a lot of confirmation out of me dressing femme for TMG this year. And also I'm trying to dress more androgynously too. Of course, I still have my Zeko hoodie I'm probably going to be wearing as Jack on Saturday. So I'm going to be dressing up as Jacqueline or Lynn on Friday, my regular Jack on Saturday. And then I'm dressing as Hex on Sunday. I'm going to be posting a lot on Blue Sky, because I can't really show it on YouTube. I know, the only safe haven I know is, like, I know my family doesn't watch my streams. They haven't since, like, sophomore year of college. They only really watch if I post a video or something. Or my community posts, which is the only reason why I sadly won't be sharing much TMG stuff through YouTube. Probably all on Blue Sky. I think some people really don't consider me an actual MB. I'm sorry to hear that, Shoy Guy. You still are. No, they, he's, and he, theys are still NB. Mix Shoy Guy. If my family was actually dead. No, same here, honestly. But different ways we want to address IRL. Yeah, no, I'm excited to try things. I'm really excited about Hex because I ordered these off Etsy. They come in the mail I think next week, or like next Saturday at the latest. Do you know the like outfits, for the different trainer types in Pokemon Sword and Shield? How like they have like clothing based off the different Pokemon types. Like, I mean, we call it, dude. I still dress mask, but geez, yeah, no, I get you, Shy Guy. I understand. So I think I can imagine how stressful that can feel based on how she described it. Yeah, no, that would be, it's very stressing inducing, I'm assuming, for a lot of folks. Definitely has a capability to read my better, yet doesn't know or doesn't say anything about my relationship. That's crazy. Wow. Right, I got a little off topic. Yeah. Super excited about Lynn and Hex. Lynn, I haven't had too much time to look into attire for Lynn, but I wanted to like go to Hot Topic beforehand and look at stuff for Lynn and Hex. Hex, though, I do have one thing pointed out. One thing set aside. Hold on one second. Sorry, my ears were hurting. I was trying to play with my glasses in my headset. It helped me read chat better, but oh my gosh, it was hurting my ears. Hold on, I'm gonna just... Can I speak now? Love you, Quest. No, what I was trying to say was, yeah, I really want to present femme so bad. But that doesn't make me any less of a femby, I guess. Even though I can't really present yet. But yeah, I'm pretty much NB, femby. I'm this spectrum here. But yeah, going back to what I was trying to say before. I want to look for an outfit for Lynn. I want to look at feminine clothes on, like, Friday. Or not Friday, Thursday before TMG. But one of the things I'm excited about is Hex. I found something that is, like, really, like, androgynous-y, kind of. I looked on Etsy. They have these tights that are the, like, ghost-type trainer tights from Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I got those. I think those look really good with Hex. So, like, those with, like, the edgy hoodie. Maybe, like, I don't know what else to go with it, but I definitely want to look into completing Hex's outfit with that. As for Lynn, I think Jack's just gonna be my typical Zekko hoodie. I just don't really know what to do for Lynn. I guess whatever, like, looks right. There's something in my head, and I don't know if it's an appropriate question to ask for stream. Different clothes for Lynn? I mean, I'm gonna have my hair dyed red. But that's gonna be for Lynn and Jack. Mostly thinking about clothing, though. Oh, nail polish. That's something I wanted to try for Lynn, too. I want to see if I could just, like, have nail polish and nail polish remover, and, like, put those on with my fingerless glove. Maybe fake lashes? I haven't really looked into that either. The eyeliner I want to do. You know how the eyeliner for the eyes makeup would look good? I mean, I'm wearing a face mask. How would that work with my face mask, though? Maybe a blush around the eyes or something? I was gonna mostly wear my black face mask that I have. Like I do for... Well, all three of these have face masks. Lynn's personality... Lynn's just me, though. Oh, eyeliner is makeup. Okay, well. I'm not really smart, but I want to do, like... Okay, so you know how... I'm just gonna draw it. So for Jack... Or I'll do Lynn first. So Lynn's eyes, I want to do, like, this diagonal lash, like, eyeliner. like however you do the diagonal. Well, just for Jack, I might do like the small little guy like that, and then Hex, I want to like give almost like the raccoon eyes and have like the bag underneath. Is what I'm thinking in my head. So like on the angle eyeliner for Lynn, the like small triangle for Jack, and then the bags for Hex. Gooby, never gloopy. Mix and mixogens. Streaming time. Or as insensitive subject for internet. Probably mature topic for stream. And YouTube might not like it. And I don't want to like cross a line in it being uncomfortable. Yeah, good fam. God, I actually really like being called that. Anyway, carrying a purse. Ooh. That would be nice if I could, like, change my bag. Although the problem with that is, what would I do with it after? I can't exactly bring a purse home. Don't. Grr. Grr. That's all I gotta say about that. I swear I have the... Okay, it wasn't plugged in, right? This dang headset. Take care, Yellow. Yeah, I would probably want to have something like that, but not for probably TMG this year. I do want to get one of those like small backpacks, maybe. Oh, hi, Carp. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a good month. Nice to see ya. Stop it. Asked to borrow? Yeah, true. Who knows? No takes backsies? Not fair. You know that's not fair, right? I do good. That's good. You know, there's a question I have, and I don't know who to ask, and I don't know where to ask it, because I don't want it to be too much of a question. I don't want it to be too much, is the problem. Hello, Ramon. Hopefully you're doing well. Good Femby. Not true. Or you get flustered. It's an even gooder. That's not true. Nuh-uh. I'm not. I don't know if I should have mentioned the whole Femby thing. I'm genuinely getting flustered more than I have recently. It's probably fine if it's not against TOS. I mean, I don't think it is. I should ask you, Shy Guy. You know what? I will ask. I probably won't have the answer to this, though. Is the thing. It's a more fem question. Okay, I just DM'd Shy Guy still. So, I don't know if that's a question appropriate for stream or not. Or if it goes against TOS asking about, a certain logistical issue. I knew way you like me to behave. Odd wording. No, not really. You can still use they them. I'll probably only transition to using they, she when I'm fully confident in doing so. I will always have they, them as part of my set. It's just I'm starting to dabble in the idea of presenting femme and wanting to be that way. Let's see, out of us will have the answer probably. Okay. I just didn't know if that was a proper... I didn't know how to word the question properly without you TOS getting upset. Like, genuinely, I don't know how to ask that question. I mean, there's one word that would tell what it is. I just, I don't know if it's a topic for stream or not. I'm too shy for this. I'm curious. Which is a good NB. Not true. I'm not a good NB. I'm not a good femb. I'm not. I'm really liking that word no. The more I'm seeing it, the more I like. Has this warm, tingly feeling. But online resources. No, it's not that one. Although, I think that is one that I could probably be okay with. I'm not quite sure. It's not that one though. It's another area that I'm curious about. I just don't know if I just don't know. I don't know. Things are hard to talk about sometimes. Jeez, I'm surprised I even managed to yap at all. I do. One of the things that made me realize it though, besides that YouTube video, is the constant wanting of wishing I could just laser hair remove everything. Like everything from like the face down. And it's like that along with other feelings of I relate to certain things. One of the things, okay, this is going to be a little weird to talk about, but I'm comfortable talking about this one. One of the things that genuinely made me question things a lot more. Putting away everything neck down in the face. Yeah, that's something I would love to do. Oh my gosh. One of the things that made me draw. Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, it's like as soon as I like get it right where I want it, it comes back in like 2 to 3 days, and I just got it comfortable. Why does it grow back so fast? Why do I already start to feel like it growing? It's so infuriating. I swear it only took like 2 to 4 days, I think. I'm starting to feel it like come back. I lost my train of thought again. Wait, what's snare? I don't know what that is. Is that a thing? Like no hair and air? Is that where that word comes from? I don't even know what that word is. A liquid hair removal bottle. Oh, right, they do have liquid hair removal. I wonder if that works. I would be like splashing that on my face and just pouring it. You an answer? Yes. Okay. Let's raise a couple things. Okay, hold on. I'm just checking this. Sorry, this is important for TMG Friday. Okay. Thank you, Shoy Guy, for the assist of knowledge. I'm just like rereading it. I'm sorry, this is gonna take me a second, chat. Okay. I think I'm okay. I think I'm good. Like the hair removal cream or more liquidy liquid. Yeah, the hair's either still there or you're bleeding, that's true. We have a hair removal cream too, also purgatory, damn. So like to be referred to as Jackogień. Oh, absolutely. Jackogięn's always going to be staying. Jack and Ojin are always going to be a part of me. It's just Jack and Ojin will be changing their pronoun sets if I change mine. If I eventually change mine, Jack and Ojin will change theirs. And they will probably dress more femme too if I dress more femme. They're extensions of myself. They are me. I know Jack isn't the most androgynous or even femme-leaning name, but I don't really care. What about Jackogień? I mean, doesn't roll off the tongue as nice, but I will say, if I do, Jack will just become Jacqueline. And go by either Jack or Lynn. You could use both Jack or Lynn if this is the pipeline I go down. Because Jack will always be what I am now. They, them. Lynn is my more femme. I think someone gay is here. How little it narrows it down. Wait, Ojin's going away? No. Ojin's still. I see Ojin as always Ojin. Ojin's just fire. Easy to make introductions. Jack, Jackie, Jacqueline, Jack-o'-lantern, Tee. Hi, Lola. Hopefully you're doing well, friend. You missed a lot. The biggest thing is me, probably sort of re-coming out in a way. That's the best way to describe this, honestly, is me kind of re-coming out. Because I just want to... I will present more femme, probably, when I'm on my own, because I really want to. And at TMG, I'm going to be dressing up as Lynn, or Jacqueline. Dude, I'm not cute. At least not yet, anyway. Maybe I will be. But... not yet. Not yet, anyway. One of the things that's gonna be kind of nice is I will probably be changing my voice for Friday at TMG. I'm probably going to try to make my voice sound more like this. And ask folks to throw in a few she, theys, or femme terms. Just as part of, me experimenting and seeing how it feels. Where's the mismeshing flesh you reside in? That is probably the most accurate compliment I've gotten. But yeah, I lost all train of thought here. Experiment with pronouns does feel nice, right? I want to say something, but I don't want to make it awkward. You call me good femby and good NB all the time. I'm allowed to do it. I think, maybe. Sorry if it's crossing a line, nobody, but you experimenting with pronouns is cool. And it also makes you a good girl. Sorry if that's a little too far, but you called me good femby and good NB. So, I think that would be at least a fair comeback. Oh no, she disintegrated. What do I do? She disintegrated. She just went, ah, and just disappeared. What do I do? Oopsie. I'll, like, make something real quick and invite you to it. Check your Discord in a second. Yeah, sure. Okay, sorry, I was just answering something. Dun, dun. Go ahead, start us. Grrrr. Oh, nar, teehee. Thanks for stream tonight, chat. This was a lot, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Should determine whether or not you cut contact with them if they don't want you for who you are. You're just too good for them. That is true. The thing is, I'm kind of... The best way I can say it, I'm Schrodinger's gay. I am half out of the closet, half in the closet, but family keeps thinking it's a phase. And then they have no idea about me being androgynous or me wanting to try femme again. Because I had a period. Okay, this is going to. I'm gonna rip a band-aid off here. This is going to be a really. This is probably going to be my most vulnerable and opening story ever. But I need to talk about it because I healed from it, and it's something that happened to me sophomore year of college. So, a little bit of a very emotional, a bit heavy, story to tell. I mentioned before I experimented with dressing femme in college. The problem was while I was doing so, I had a role model, and she ended up kind of using me emotionally, and it kind of broke me a bit. It still hurts to talk about it. I healed, but it's still a scar. I was experimenting dressing femme, and I did so for a whole day in college. But she, in her own words, after everything was said and done, after I caught feelings for her after she made a move on me, I talked to her about it, and she said that she was just using me like a toy, more or less. She didn't use those words, but she said about how she got crazy. It was her first night being polyamorous, and she wanted to just have fun. And saw me as somebody to just play with. That was a word she used, play. And that kind of broke me and sent me into my own little spiral. And when family caught wind of it all, they associated everything with just transphobia then. That's pretty much what happened with that. Was they were like, "Oh, she manipulated you into being someone you're not." And then they also tried to change the narrative that the thing that scarred me was because she was trans femme, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. It wasn't because of that. It was because I was just emotionally used and treated like a plaything. But they tried to flip the script and being like, "Oh no, Jack's traumatized because it was a trans femme, not because of the being used part." So that whole thing got flipped on its head. Me experimenting with feminine clothing and everything all then just got associated with that whole baggage. And this is stuff I didn't come to terms with for, again, years. So, yeah. That was something that happened. I remember coping with everything by burning the feminine clothing I did have. But now, obviously, I regret that. I only did that because I thought I fed into the narrative that my family was putting up, that maybe this was all just part of her manipulation. And that's just not true. I enjoyed like things like shaving my legs and stuff like that. It felt euphoric. It still feels euphoric if I get to do it. And I want to dress femme again because of the euphoria I felt. It was a toxic relationship and then... or a toxic situationship, or whatever you want to call it. And then it was handled afterwards toxically by conservative views. So that was a lot. You weren't treated as a person, they made it about something irrelevant. Exactly, that's exactly what happened, Mike. Oh, what wanted desires are, because some families will choose to push their own agenda. Exactly. Your body, my identity, my life, not theirs. That is true, and that's something that I'm finally coming more and more to terms with. I've healed about this. Again, keep in mind, this happened in 2021. This happened before... Mike, you know who... and some of you know who I dated that was probably one of the only positive relationships I've had lately. Or in the past 6 years of my life. This happened before I dated them. But that was really, yeah. Bad suddenly act like it's because they're queer, not because they're people. Exactly. It's so not right. It was the individual at play that oh my gosh, I remember seeing her in the hallway one time, like I think it was because that whole incident happened sophomore year, right? It was like first semester sophomore year. I remember seeing her. I think I passed her in the dining hall in like junior year, second semester of junior year. I just remember having the coldest shudder up my spine. It was an awful feeling. And it wasn't because of anything other than her soul manipulating mine to treat me like an object or a plaything versus me thinking there was actual genuine connection there. Well, I'm very glad it kept you alive, Pearl Cherry and Violet. Even if you don't think so, even if other folks don't think they deserve to exist, I'm really glad you do. Genuinely, I'm glad you do. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly, Vixie. It's like, oh, this is proof of me hating. Yeah, no, it was a lot. And take care, Maki. Peace, love, and good vibes. But yeah, that's probably one of the heaviest baggage I've kind of held on to for years. But I wanted to talk about it because that was the last time I got to really dress femme. Right towards that, our sentiment has actually convinced us to stay alive multiple times. That's very good. I'm very glad that spite has helped. bad people exist things ever, or even queer people, but it doesn't mean all of them are. Generalizations are never good. I 100% agree, Mike. You can't generalize. Every soul is different. That's why it's so important to be open-minded and patient, understanding. That's the morals I live by, and I will continue to. Yeah, only the individual. That too, that sentence, Mike. That sentence, I'm looping back to something I used to talk about, or one of the old things I talked about, but my character Ambelica is all about that. Ambelica is 100% that mentality of, just because others are doing this doesn't mean it's the whole population, or don't hold the whole population to the same belief. That's Ambelica's entire thing. You know, I don't get that whole mentality either. It's like, oh yeah, you can have plastic surgery, but oh no, all stars forbid. HRT or something. I don't know. Like, people are judgmental. People are a mess. Some people are a mess. Just let us exist. Let us be ourselves. We're not hurting anyone. We just want to feel most comfortable. And for me, I really want to. You do the same shit. Yeah, no, doesn't make any sense. Chat, I know we had a lot of emotions this stream. Heavy stuff, light stuff, banter, affirmations. But overall, I just want to say thank you for it all. This was a nice stream back, nice grounded, talking about life. Me, in a way, coming out. That's gonna be my big test. If you have a blue sky, I don't like to self-promo, but Blue Sky's probably going to be the place where I post most of my TMG stuff because of me trying out different attire and different ways to express myself. Yeah, of course. I'm always happy to help. I should self-promo more. No. Look, my mentality is this. People who stay will stay. People who will sub. People who skedaddle. I just will keep on keeping on. Excuse me. And yeah, I'll keep on doing what I love and what I aim to do here. For y'all, for this. And can't even grr or anything. I just like got muted, flustered over that Femby. That's such a... I'm seeing that word more and more, and it's actually like making me giddy. Join the vibes, need this after a long week. Yeah, I'm glad. Sorry. You're so precious. Not true. Good fit. Not true. I'm getting ready for bed now. Have a great night. Yeah, you too. I think I'm gonna go to bed soon too. I have to take care of Star. She's upstairs, probably taking a nap, but I have to try to get her to go out to use the bathroom before bed. Only is proving our point. That's not fair. I'm getting ganged up on. No, this was nice. I'm very much looking forward to TMG. Really wanting to. Excuse me. Really wanting to dress. I went to the thing that also just like helped me realize things was I stepped into a Hot Topic while I was at work. Well, not while I was at work, but like when I was out and about. Yeah, I do. I can't deny that, I guess. Femby's nice. I don't want to admit it, but I will. But yeah, one of the things that helped me realize things too was going into a Hot Topic, looking up and seeing like just like emo femme clothes, and it was like, I would love to try that on, but I can't. But I want to so bad. I'm excited to try out. I'm excited to experiment. I think it'll be a fun, really fun Friday. But yeah, that's the future. I think for tonight, though, I should wrap it up just for Star's sake. I would probably love it. You know, there's a lot in there that could be really cool. I bet. I might pick up things for both Lynn and Hex. That's the thing I'm super... Okay, I'm gonna ramble. That's the last thing I'll ramble about. That's the thing I'm so excited about TMG is like being able... I don't know if y'all like understand. Probably Pearl Cherry Violet, you three probably understand it the most, but for me, my Sonas, you know, like Jack, OG, Lynn, Hex, they're all just expressions of myself. And so if I dress as them, it just feels like I'm able to highlight different aspects of my soul and really communicate those aspects of them. Hex being my like kind of burned out, low energy, completely exhausted, but still like still existing energy. And then Lynn being my more femme presenting, maybe. It's funny because like when I voiced Lynn before, I gave her a lot of like confidence, like, oh, you know, something like this. But genuinely, I'm too much of a flustered mess that the actual Jacqueline me is probably more high pitched and stuttering and fumbling and pretty much, for lack of better terms, girl fail. And then Jack's just the NB Octo who wants to make out with a splat roller. So overall, all three of us are pretty similar, so the solos amplify the differences. Yeah! That's pretty much like what I want to do here with going as Lynn on Friday, Jack on Saturday, Hex on Sunday. I'm really going to feed in to like trying to present like femme and experimenting with like having that expression, while Hex is just gonna be like my dead tired, dead AF Eber. My controller's glitching a little. I think my controller's dying. I think this has like 10% left on the right hand. But yeah. Hopefully you all enjoyed my stay back at our little Epper. Yeah, I can't spell Eper right. I'm too tired. Throw me a bone. I'm a little too Eper. Or Epper. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Make sure, I guess, to like the stream if you enjoyed. I enjoyed answering a lot of your questions that folks had at the beginning of stream. And it was nice to talk about some of my baggage. And then talking about the future. For the future, once I'm fully on my own, I will probably fully be a femby. Femby Jackogień. Femby Jackogień doesn't really look that well. When I think about the future, my mind is filled with dread. No, it's not filled with dread. Mine's full of hopes. Here we are in the future. Here we are in the future, and it's bright. No one to fear, no one to fight. I can't believe we've come so far. Happily ever after, here we are. Anyway, hopefully you all have a good one. I'm gonna properly wrap it up here. For real this time, for realsies, I will check DM. And hi, Mario. Hopefully you're doing well, friend. Alright, chat. Thank you for everything. As always, peace, love, and good vibes. I will be streaming... What am I streaming tomorrow? Crash Team Racing. That's what I'm doing for Jackogień tomorrow. I just gotta take care of Star and mow the other half of the yard. I have it set for 7:30. Worst case scenario might be 8:30, but we'll play it by ear. We'll see what we can do. Thanks for everything, chat. Have a good one. Sleep well. Bye bye. Whee!